So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another video of The Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm going to do an album review with Señorita Sabrosura. So, Señorita, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
We're
Good to see
good.
you.
Yes, we haven't done an album review in a while, and for those of you who are watching, say happy birthday to Señorita Sabrosura. It's her birthday.
Yeah.
You just turned 21.
I wish.
Yeah, almost. So we're here today to talk about an
Sometimes I
album.
wish I could go back, but
We're here today to talk about an album from Sleater-Kinney, and the album is called Little Rope. So this is their
yeah.
album in a while, and we're gonna talk.
I think it's their 11th studio album.
Yeah, I think it's their 11th studio album. Yeah, I was watching all the albums that they have, and this is a band that I've heard the name, and I think I listened to songs here and there. But
Yeah.
You told me like, hey, this is coming out back in December, and I'm like, yeah, it ring a bell to me. So they're a band from Olympia, Washington. They formed like in the beginning of the 90s, and they put out their first album like 94, 95, if I'm not mistaken. And I was reading that they were lumped in with that Riot Girl movement.
Yeah, they were from the movement of the Riot Girl back in the 90s. This band is gonna be almost 30 years now. I think they moved their base now in Portland, but yeah, there was that big movement, and they've been putting albums since then.
Yeah, so this album, Little Rope, I was reading some of the background about the album, and I think one of the members in the band, both her parents got in a car accident, or
Yeah,
that
that's
inspired.
the dark hair, Carrie Brownstein.
Yeah, and that
Um,
inspired the sound of the album. So
yeah, well, they were in the middle of doing the album. They had some songs, but nothing fully made. And then, um, her parents, her mom and stepdad, died in a car accident while they're vacationing in Italy.
yeah, no, that's very tragic.
So,
And
so you're in the middle of doing this album, these songs, um, so everything have to go through that lens of grief and that loss.
yeah, I think it shows in because the album, there's songs that seem more uplifting, but there's songs that have more distortion and aggression. It kind of reminds me of like a combination of like a lot of like early 90s like bands like Belly, and obviously them because they were in the 90s. But a lot some of the songs with more distortion remind me a little bit of Sonic Youth, for example, at least to me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a song that I know we're getting ahead. There's a song that I really like, and it gave me that Sonic Youth, but there's another song that gave me like Mel Bings, The Wipers, more like punk vibe.
Yeah, but and there's a lot of like indie rock on this album. So
Yeah.
so we're basically giving you our first impressions upon listening to this album.
So
Uh,
what were your first impressions when you listened to the album?
well, at first I listened to the singles. I listened to, I think it's Untidy Creatures.
That was the last single they
That
released.
was the last single, and that's the album, the song that else the album. I listened to Hell
Closer.
and
Yeah.
Say It Like You Mean It.
Yes.
Those were
And
the.
did you watch the videos?
I did watch some of
In
the videos. Yeah.
in Say Like You Mean It, that's the actress from Succession. The one that's Gary.
Yeah,
I
the
was
lawyer.
like, I know this lady.
Yeah, Say It Like You Mean It. I don't know why I got vibes of Smile Like You Mean It from The Killers. Even though the title's kind of like it has some similarities to it. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. So yeah, I listened to the singles. So I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. And I started listening to their older stuff, and I think I remember like, oh yeah, I remember listening to that, but I couldn't put the name of the band in it. So So yeah, I enjoyed the singles and listening to it. It's 10 tracks, it's 34 minutes, so it's a album that's fairly short. It goes by quickly. I think it's very cohesive in the sound of
Yeah.
the more softer indie rock with the more like distortion, but there is never really like super loud or fast. But there's some songs that the distortion like plays well, especially like with the vocal styles. Like I felt in the vocals a lot of like pain uh, in a lot of the vocals in the songs, but we'll talk about songs soon. So yeah, my first impression is I enjoyed it, and I felt it was an album that I had to sit down to really let it sink in. Since it came out in a Friday, the first Friday of the year that had so many albums. So,
Yep.
so yeah, it's an album that it could get lost in the shuffle, obviously, because it came out the day that Green Day released a new album. So, but yeah, I'm glad that you brought it up to me, and I'm like, yeah, we have to do this one together. So yeah, good first impression. So let's talk tracks. What tracks did you enjoy and why?
Well, like you said, it's a really short album. I saw an interview, and they say they wanted to do like a classic A and B side, like 5 songs and 5 songs. And it was hard to pick 10 songs. But I think Hell, it's a great opener. I think it sets the mood of the album. I love how it goes from soft to a full distortion at the end. It was the first single I listened to, and I like it. And you were talking about Say Like You Mean It. Maybe that's like the more commercial, radio
Yeah,
friendly, but it's still a good song. It's very catchy. And you said it gave you like a Smile Like You Mean It vibe.
yeah,
It's because it's very catchy, very um but I like how it mixes the voice, like it sounds very soulful with pain, and then the guitar sounds like very minimal but like apocalyptic, like and it gave me like shoegaze vibes, that song.
yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, it has like that type of vibe to the
uh
song.
the other song that I really like, Six Mistakes. That's the song that it gave me like the Melvins, the Wipers, that 90s vibes. I like how it goes like with distortion too, and it has like a punk vibe too.
Yeah, that's a great one as well. Yeah. So yeah, like for me, my favorite track on the record was Untidy Creature.
The
Uh, yeah, that one had more of like a grunge vibe to it, especially
Yeah,
the guitar. I really thought it was really infectious, and I like it that they have it as an album closer. I think it's a good album closer.
yeah. When I listen to it as a single, it's like, oh, this song is great. But then when you hear the whole album and you listen to the whole album, it's a great closer, and it goes well with the whole album. And like you say, I like that guitar. It sounds very grungy. And that song is about reproductive rights, like it, but without being that obvious.
Yeah, you got it more than me. I didn't dive well into the lyrics. I just like the infectious melody of it, and I like how Carney and Corey like they trade vocals. Sometimes I don't know
Yeah,
which one is singing because their voices
yeah,
are not that like they're not similar, but they're not that very different. So it's kind of hard for me to tell who's singing.
yeah. And normally Carrie sings more in other albums, but in this record, she said she took a step back, and she's like, I'm gonna concentrate on my guitar. And because she was grieving and having a loss, she said that Corinne, the blonde one, her voice is very comforting for her, so she'd rather let Corinne sing. And Carrie's a awesome. I saw them live like 2 years ago, she's an amazing guitarist, and because now she's concentrated in playing the guitar and not singing so much, uh like it expanded her way of playing the guitar. For
Yeah,
me, this is a great record for guitar.
yeah, no, especially that like 90s type of guitar, like that
Yeah.
tone, that 90s tone. So yeah, on Untidy Creature, I thought that the song before that, Dress Yourself, was pretty interesting.
Yes.
And that was like more slower in the build up. And I thought it was pretty interesting. What do you thought about that one?
Yeah, I really like that song too. That song is like a reminder that dress yourself and stand in the face of adversity. Like no matter what you're going through, like dress yourself and go. I like how it says like dress yourself for a world you hate,
For a what you hate?
for a world.
Yeah, for a well, yeah, well, you have
Yeah,
to dress. You
yeah,
can't go around undressed,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
where you live.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song, and another song I like because I like Hell, I like the other singles, but I the one that I thought was really upbeat and like Sonic Youth like and quirky was Needlessly Wild.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
like
that's very Sonic Youth.
yeah, very Sonic Youth. It's 2 minutes and 51 seconds. I think there the style of singing is it's more like frantic, and it felt like type of like more
Yeah,
punchy wild
it
song.
it felt like the title, like Needlessly Wild.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They captured that the wildness of that song in less than 3 minutes. So I thought that that one was a really stood out track. So
Another song that I took is a standout that it could be a single to hunt you down.
yeah, that was
Yeah, that's like a feel good song about feeling awful.
yeah, and another one I thought was interesting and kind of different was Crusader, because it started like more slow, and I think there's something in the lyrics that she says like I don't have to be your crusader or something like that that I thought was interesting, like in the lyrics, like maybe like I don't have to like do something for you, like do it for yourself,
Yeah.
like when I fear crusader is like someone that I can save you every time you do a mistake.
As
I'm trying to analyze the lyrics, but I haven't like read them fully to understand it, because to me this is the type of album, like a lot of 90s bands have those type of lyrics that are not like super decipherable, that sometimes you have to read, they can mean one thing like another, like Nirvana, for example. Sometimes I'm like, what is he talking about?
what is he talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're good. But yeah,
Yeah, but Sleater-Kinney have always do lyrics about women rights, about uh confront the laws, the people, the system. So, but it's not that obvious. Like Untidy Creatures is a song about reproductive rights, but it's not that obvious.
yeah, I'm like Untidy Creatures. I wonder what it's about. I just love that guitar
Yeah.
melody and the tone that that song has and the singing on it. So, but overall, I would say there's no skippable tracks on this one for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll give our final thoughts and voting. Uh, Final thoughts on Little Rope by Sleater-Kinney.
Well, for me, overall, it's a solid record, no skippable songs. It's a great album about grief, about loss and pain, but without being all about that. It could be like a very happy album too. Um, it's a great guitar record too for me. It feels very powerful and raw, and I like it. When I listened to for the first time, it felt like very cathartic. and I enjoy it. So for me, it's a great record. I will give it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. So yeah, for me, being less knowledgeable on the band, uh, I've listened to them some of the time, but I wasn't like super known of the band, so I didn't have like that much experience with them. So I came in like almost being like a new listener, even though I listened to the name, but I'm like, oh yeah, now I understand. So yeah, I believe this is a very good alternative indie rock record. I think if you like those 90s bands that we mentioned, you will enjoy it. I was reading some of the scores, and some of magazines gave it a 7 out of 10, or like kind of
Yeah,
low. But I saw that other magazines gave it like a 4 or almost a
four,
5. So
star, four and a
so
half.
yeah, so
Yeah, makes for the critics. But I think the more you listen to it, the more it will sink and the more you will like it.
yeah, I think it's a focus record. I think like the guitar, is very crisp, and the vocals are very expressive.
They had a great producer. Um, I'm missing the name right now, but
Oh,
the
it's John Congleton.
Congleton, right? Congleton.
Yeah, Congleton or Congleton. Uh, that's
Yeah,
what I'm reading.
that
But
the description of that producer, he's like a security blanket for indie record bands.
yeah, the sound of this album is pure indie rock. So
Yeah.
if you like that indie rock, because even though it has some distorted guitars, it doesn't go like like super
Or
hard. So it has those indie vibes. But I think the vocals are great. I
the
think
lyric.
the lyrics are great. I think it's an album that I haven't seen anyone talk about it, so it can go under the radar. So that's why we're covering it, because we think it can be that hidden gem that you could miss out if you're not listening to it. It's a very solid, great record. I also give it a 9 out of 10 because I don't find anything wrong with the album.
No,
It's not perfect but I think it's an
I
album.
wish I wish he had like two more songs maybe.
Yeah, like
Because I wanted more. Like it was too short for me, but that's the only reason I'm giving it a 9.
yeah,
But it's a
but
great album.
it's a great record,
I
and
never had the chance to see them live. Do it because they're amazing live.
I will totally see them live. And I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna listen more to their older stuff, because I've listened to songs here and there, but I've never fully listened to it. So I'm gonna listen to more Sleater-Kinney. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, because yeah, really cool band, and obviously you have me at the '90s sound, uh, because they still have that sound, because
Yep.
they're from the '90s. So we want to know from you people, what did you think of Little Rope by Sleater-Kinney? Like, what are your favorite tracks? Did you even know that this band was putting out new music? They put out an album also in 2021. Or you never heard of this band? If you never heard of this band and you like all those bands from the '90s, give this a try. And of course, wish Señorita Sabrosura a happy birthday. And not just wish for a happy birthday, buy her art at sabrosura.art.
Yes.
So she can go out and party like it's her birthday, which it is. And of course, if you like the videos that I'm doing, don't forget to give me a like, to share with friends and people that like music. I want to say hello to the new subscribers. This month and a half, I had the most subscribers I've had in a little short span of time. So the channel is really like taking off, really growing. So I'm thankful for that. And obviously, we're going to have more videos with Señorita Sabrosura in the future. And until next time, people, this is Hector, the shield on a couch. And I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.